Okay, St. Louis, are you worried about data centers? Are you worried about what the city is going to do about it? Well, after 5 months, we finally have some answers about what the city is going to do about data centers. This is the first draft of the zoning framework for data centers. And lucky for you, I read all 24 pages, so you don't have to. So, one of the most important things in this framework, this zoning framework, is actually defining what a data center is in the St. Louis zoning code. And it actually also separates them into categories. So, for example, the micro data center, that is a data center with square footage less than 10,000 gross square feet and a maximum power demand of less than 5 megawatts. The standard data center is a data center with square footage of more than 10,000 gross square feet or maximum power demand of more than 5 megawatts, but less than 75 megawatts. And the large load data centers are a maximum power demand of 75 megawatts or more. Think about those as those large, huge, hyperscale, as they call them, data centers that, take up hundreds of acres of land. Those are what would be considered a large load data center. And what's important about these classifications is that the city planning staff actually said St. Louis cannot handle large load data centers. We can't handle it. Our infrastructure just can't handle it. So, data centers we have right now, there are between 12 and 19 in the St. Louis area, and most of them in St. Louis proper are the smaller scale data centers. They take up a floor or two. I believe they said the biggest one was about 20 megawatts. So that's really well within the standard data center classification now in this draft of our zoning code. They also put in some renewable energy requirements as well. And one of them is about the cooling system. So cooling systems for data centers vary from, for example, like an air conditioner and a lot of air conditioners, or they have what they call a closed loop cooling system. So in a closed loop cooling system, it's filled up with water one time, and that's a lot of water, but it's a one-time fill combined with a chemical similar to like your radiator or whatever, and then that is circulated through constantly to cool down all of their servers in these larger facilities. Another important thing that the zoning framework does is it lays out where in our zoning code and where in our city data centers can go. So they already said these large load users, this just can't happen here. But these micro or standard size data centers are possible, and we already have some, as I mentioned. But they also have to be 300 feet away from housing or what they call sensitive uses. So that means a data center, no matter if it's in an industrial space or it's in a space where they had a warehouse before or some sort of other industrial use, it doesn't matter. It has to be 300 feet away from homes. Now, there is some exception with that. For example, if you're talking about downtown, and there could be some exceptions made, and that could be all part of the permit process. But that's all kind of spelled out in here. And I think, this is one of the more detailed lists of requirements that I've seen since I've been covering this topic for the last couple of years. So that's basically what we have right now. They want public feedback on this. They said, we've already received some public feedback that has helped us shape this first draft of the plan. So on our website, on ksdk.com, you can find the link to where you can share your written comments of public feedback, as well as this whole entire report.